Alright guys, welcome back to the channel where today we have all the details on the new patch update for WWE 2K23 as 2K have released a full list of patch notes for patch 1.13, which is the first of two patches this week, as we're also getting a second 1.14 patch to add some additional content to MyFaction. So let's take a look at the patch notes for patch 1.13, starting out with the general updates, where we have polish updates for multiple WWE Superstars, various stability improvements, and added support for Revel with Wyatt DLC pack. While we don't know what the polish updates are specifically, these tend to be small tweaks to the character models or changes to entrances, with some examples from the previous patch being that lasers were added to entrances like Solo Sokoa, while Noam Dar's character model was updated to add chest hair. So we'll probably get something similar this time around, though we won't know what these changes are until the patch drops. Moving on to the gameplay updates, we have addressed report concerns related to the Mandible Claw 2 move, which is Mankind's version of the move that sees him motion to pull out Mr. Socko, as there was a problem with the move whereby when it ended, both players would freeze in place. Also listed under gameplay changes, we have addressed reported concerns related to tag team finishes not displaying, addressed reported concerns of rendering issues that would arise after getting pinned using the rapid pin minigame, addressed reported concerns related to title belts missing during entrances, and addressed reported concerns related to adjusting controller assignments during elimination match types. Switching over to the online updates, the patch notes include online stability improvements which relate to the overall online experience, such as online matches, and then we also have community creation stability improvements which should help some of the crashing issues and speed up searches, as I noticed that was particularly bad over the weekend, as anytime I did a search and then stopped to make a note of that particular creation, once I tried to then view another creation or change the page, and the game would just instantly crash, so hopefully the stability improvements will help address that. Moving on to the creation suite, we only have one fix listed here, which is addressed reported concerns related to display problems for the Raw Women's title when custom side plates were used, as there was an issue with the championship during title intros where the title could be seen floating outside the ring rather than with the champion. So this update is pretty disappointing, as I know we're closing in on the end of support for 23, but there's still a lot of issues with the creation suite that need addressed, including some problems that only seem to have appeared after recent patches, like the leather material giving off this coloured glow during cutscenes. Switching over to Universe mode, we also only have one fix listed here, with this one being a general update to improve the overall stability. For MyGM, we have an update that is listed as AI players tougher on hard difficulty level, which I'm assuming means that the hard difficulty setting is being made more challenging, though this change only applies to new saves as it won't affect existing ones. For MyFaction, we don't actually have any updates listed in this patch, as the notes for MyFaction mention patch 1.14 will follow this update, and that patch will include additional card assets. So this update is a little bit odd, as we'd usually get all the new MyFaction content added in the same patch as the DLC, as this is usually when the new models are patched in ahead of new card packs being added, so it could be that 2K holding off adding the new models until the next patch. As for why they do that, it could be that there's something in there that they want to keep a surprise and they don't want to add it until it's ready to go live, as there's been several leaks regarding a playable version of Lily being added, so it'll be interesting to see if that's something that gets patched in with this update, as usually once the patch drops, creators like What's the Status and World's Finest tend to upload any of the new models to community creations. Going back to the patch notes, we also have one change listed under audio, with this being the addition of Sami Zayn's Worlds Apart theme, which is being patched into the game in Create an Entrance, so if you want to update him and give him this theme, then you can edit his entrance in the creation suite and set this as his entrance music. So it's great to see Worlds Apart return. I know it's only a small thing, but it's nice to see little additions like this being made, as for so long, any trons or music that was featured in the game when it released was something that we had to stick with until the next game, yet this year it feels like something has changed and that 2K are more open to adding and updating content, so hopefully this is just the beginning and we start seeing more updates like this in 2K24. So that's all the patch notes for patch 1.13, however as mentioned under the MyFaction update, patch 1.14 is also due out soon, so if that patch also includes fixes, then I'll cover that in a separate video, as I will any additional fixes or new content that's added in patch 1.13 but not listed in the patch notes. So keep an eye on the channel as I'll have a preview of all the new DLC moves once the patch drops, along with full coverage of the DLC tomorrow and hopefully 1 or 2 episodes of Did You Know. Until then though, thank you so much for watching this video, have yourself an awesome day, and I'll catch you later.